everyone, it's me, Quizzie the Quiz Master. Welcome to Cooking with Quizzie. So, what are we cooking today, you ask? We're going to cook fish cakes. And we're going to do salmon fish cakes today. Now I know that might sound quite a big job and a bit daunting, but actually it's easier than you think. And I'm going to show you how. So, today we need a few ingredients. Let's have a look what they are. To start with, we're going to need some salmon. Now you can do it the hard way by buying some fresh salmon and then cooking them. Or you could simply use a tin of salmon already cooked. Then all you've got to do is open the tin and flake out the salmon ready. Makes it much quicker and much easier. But if you'd like to cook the actual fish like we're going to do today, then go for it. Next, we need some potato. And it's actually mashed potato that we need. Because potato is a big ingredient inside most fish cakes. And again, you can do it the hard way by buying some potatoes, peeling them, chopping them, boiling them, mashing them to get your mashed potato. Or you could buy mashed potato that is easy to make up yourself, where you just mix the powder with some water and make the mash. You can also buy jacket potatoes, frozen ones, that can just live in your freezer. You grab them when you need them. Microwave that for 3 or 4 minutes. Flake out potato from inside the skin when they're cooked. Instant mashed potato. So today we're going to do it the hard way. We're going to boil some potatoes, but you've got lots of different options to make it easier for you when you're making this dish. Next, we're going to need a lemon. And the lemon actually doesn't even go in the fish cakes, so it's optional anyway. But if you mix this with some mayonnaise, you've got a nice dipping sauce to have with your fish cakes afterwards. And we'll do that again today as well. We're also going to need some spring onions, some parsley, and some chives. All of these things you could put in or not, or you could replace them with different herbs. And the final thing that you're going to need is some breadcrumbs. Right, let's get started. So we've lit the fire under the pan, so from now on we have to remember that pan's hot. Let's stay away from it with our hands or anything else that could catch fire. Let's make sure we use our tongs and our fish slices to put the fish in and out of the pan. First job is we just add a little bit of oil into the pan, just to stop the fish sticking. So just a little glug of oil into the pan, let it warm up, and then we're going to add our fish. Now at this point you could season the fish if you want to, with some salt or some pepper, or any other herbs that you fancy, or you can just leave it nice and plain. What I'm going to do is just add a little bit of seasoning, a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. There we go. Okay, so our pan is nice and hot and ready for the salmon. So we're going to use our fish slice or our tongs to pop the salmon in. Be nice and careful, keeping away from the heat. And also keeping away from that oil we put in that could splash. So there you go, the salmon is in the pan. That would take maybe 5 or 6 minutes to cook it, the amount that we need to cook it. We're going to cook the fish cakes when we've actually made them, so that sort of get a second cook, so the salmon never needs as much cooking at this first stage as you might think. Okay, so the salmon is in the pan and it's cooking nicely. So whilst that's cooking, we can get on with doing other stuff. So let's start with our potatoes. First job, we've got to peel them. 2 peeled potatoes. Let's get rid of the mess. Okay, so our next job is to slice the potatoes up. Now, the bigger the potato, the longer it's going to take to cook when you're boiling it. So, cut this into nice small pieces and nice equal pieces so they all cook at the same rate. Make your job a lot easier and a lot quicker. Again, for this, you could use a small knife, or you could use a big knife, depending on how confident you are with knives, or this is the bit you get your grown-ups to help you with. When you're cutting, keep your fingers out of the way. Nice flat side of the finger here, nothing sticking out to chop the end of your finger off. Grip the potato, use the nice flat side of your finger to push down with your knife. And that's it, that's our potato all cut up into nice equal pieces. Now we just pop a pan of hot water onto boil and pop the potatoes in it. So I've got the pan, you can add a little bit of salt to your water if you want to. It can sometimes help with the taste and the seasoning of the potato. I'm just going to pop our potato into the pan. Go. Going to pop the heat on and then add our nice warm water from the kettle. Be careful with this part. Hot water from the kettle can burn, so get your nice grown-ups to help you with this bit. And there we go, so our salmon is still cooking and looking lovely and smelling lovely. Time to just give it a little turn to make sure it cooks all the way around. I can certainly hear the sizzling from the pan. Maybe you can from home. There we go. That's the underside of the salmon. Cooking lovely, and just turning it over in the pan to make sure all the sides get cooked, and then finally the heat will work its way through the fish and cook inside the middle. Okay, so the next bit, whilst the potatoes and the salmon are cooking, is we can chop up our ingredients. We've got our parsley, and we've got our chives. You can pop all that together, and then we can carefully cut these up. And your grown-ups can do this for you, or you can yourself if you're happy using knives. Nipping it off. There's a nice easy way that you could also chop up things like chives and herbs and things like that. Is you just use a pair of these scissors. A lot safer, not to sharp, and because the herbs are really soft, they chop up nice and easily. So that is our chives and parsley all chopped up. We're going to add that now into a mixing bowl. parts of the onions. We're going to chop off the little bits of the head where the spiky hair is at the top. And then I always just peel off one section around the outside of the onion to get rid of any dirt that might be there from the soil. Wonderful. And then we're going to take our onions and just slice them into little pieces. Again, you can even do this with a pair of scissors. So we're just going to keep an eye on our salmon again. Making sure it's cooking nicely, not burning. Our potatoes are just coming up to temperature. Our spring onions are ready. I'm just going to slice them up a bit smaller. And we're going to add them to the mix. So in go the spring onions. So that's spring onions in there, parsley and chives. Oh, looking yummy, smelling amazing. Okay, the next thing to add into this are some breadcrumbs. Fantastic. Okay, so in the bowl now we have our breadcrumbs, we have our spring onion, we've got our chives, and we've got our parsley. And this is all ready to go for mixing with the salmon when the salmon's ready. Well, the salmon is cooked lovely, smells lovely, cooked all the way through, but it's going to get another cook anyway once it's been made into a fish cake. So now we're just waiting on the potatoes to mash. We're going to mix that mashed potatoes in with our breadcrumb and herb mix, and we're nearly there. Okay, so whilst we're just waiting on the last bits to cook, I made myself a little dipping sauce. Really easy, not much to see, it's just some mayonnaise squirted into a little bowl, the juice of half a lemon squeezed in, and then a little bit of the lemon rind flicked in also. Yum. Lovely. It smells amazing, citrus, sharp. It's a great combination when you mix it with a fish cake. So give that a go as well. So my potatoes are finally ready. I've drained the water off and I've added a few bits to them. Let's take a look. We've added some butter, a bit of milk, some salt, some pepper, and now we're ready to mash. Fantastic, lovely buttery, creamy mashed potato. Now all we have to do for this is to add this to our breadcrumb mix with our spring onions and our herbs that we made earlier. So let's put the two together. So I've added the mashed potato into the mixture with the herbs and the breadcrumbs. So now what I have to do, mix it all together, ready to make our fish cakes. So all we do now is take our salmon and we mix this in as well. Give the mixture a really good stir to mix all those breadcrumbs, potato, herbs, salmon, all equally mixed up together. Just already smelling like a fish cake. Okay, so that is our fish cake mix all combined together. We've got the potato, the herb, we've got seasonings, we've got the salmon. It's all ready to go into our pan. So the frying pan is on. We've already got some oil in there from when we cooked the fish earlier, so we may just use the same oil again. I have a ring so I can make a nice perfectly shaped fish cake, but to be fair, you could just make it into a little ball, push it down into a little sort of patty, a bit like a burger, and that'll be just as good. So let's get the first one in the pan. Okay, so the fish cakes are all brown, lovely, all around both sides. The smell is incredible. Let's get them out of the pan and give them a try. Okay, so there you go. Salmon and potato fish cakes, a few herbs, bits of seasoning, a few breadcrumbs. Wow, the smell is amazing. Let's give them a try. Beautiful. This is definitely one to try. Now some people will put their breadcrumbs on the outside of the fish cake to make it a sort of a breaded fish cake. And you could do that. And if you want to do that, just don't mix the breadcrumbs in with the rest of the potato mix like I did. Trouble with that is you then need to use eggs. So you can whisk up the eggs. You then need to dip the fish cakes without them falling apart into the eggs, into the breadcrumbs. It gets a bit more messy and a bit more technical. So the way I do it is just mix it all together, and you still end up with all the flavours, all the taste. You just get a potato and salmon fish cake, but without the really crusty breadcrumbs on the outside. But either way, you could do it. It tastes amazing, and now I'm going to try another bit, but with the little dip that we made earlier. The lemon just brings it alive. Fantastic. Give it a go.